The City of Angels, a sprawling metropolis known for its sunshine and glamour, finds itself locked in a desperate battle against an all-too-familiar foe: wildfires. From the Hollywood Hills to the Pacific Coast, a series of intense and fast-moving fires have left a trail of destruction, turning the dreamlike landscape into a scene of devastation. The skies, once a brilliant blue, are now choked with smoke, casting an eerie orange glow over the city. The air is heavy with the smell of ash, and the sound of sirens pierce the air as exhausted firefighters race against time to contain the inferno. This is not the first time Los Angeles has faced the wrath of wildfires. The city's unique geography, characterized by dry, chaparral-covered hills and valleys, combined with a hot, dry climate, makes it particularly vulnerable to these blazes. But this year feels different. The fires are burning hotter, spreading faster, and consuming everything in their path with a ferocity that is deeply unsettling. The situation has reached a crisis point, prompting mass evacuations, stretching emergency services to their limits, and leaving residents grappling with fear and uncertainty. As the fires continue to rage, the world watches in horror and disbelief. Images of burning homes, fleeing families, and exhausted firefighters dominate news headlines, painting a grim picture of a city under siege. But amidst the devastation, there are also stories of extraordinary courage, compassion, and resilience. Stories of firefighters risking their lives to save others, of neighbors helping neighbors evacuate, and of communities coming together to support those who have lost everything. This is the story of the Los Angeles wildfires, a story of destruction and loss, but also a story of human courage, compassion, and the enduring spirit of a city determined to rise from the ashes. The current wildfire crisis in Los Angeles is not defined by a single inferno, but rather a series of blazes, each with its own devastating impact. The Palisades fire, which erupted near the Getty Center, sent shockwaves through the city as flames threatened the iconic museum and forced thousands to flee their homes. The Eaton fire, fueled by dry brush and fanned by strong winds, tore through the Angeles National Forest, leaving a blackened scar on the landscape. The Kenneth fire, ignited by a downed power line, raged through Simi Valley, destroying homes and businesses in its path. The Hearst fire, a fast-moving inferno, swept through the hills above West Hollywood, threatening multi-million-dollar homes and prompting the evacuation of celebrities and residents alike. And then there's the Lydia fire, which exploded near Malibu, a coastal paradise known for its beaches and celebrity homes. This firestorm, fueled by strong Santa Ana winds, raced towards the Pacific Ocean, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Each of these fires, though geographically distinct, contributes to the collective sense of fear and uncertainty that now grips Los Angeles. The relentless advance of the wildfires has forced tens of thousands of residents to flee their homes, transforming familiar neighborhoods into ghost towns. The wail of sirens and the flashing lights of emergency vehicles have become an all-too-familiar sight as police and firefighters go door to door, urging residents to evacuate. For many, the evacuation order comes with a terrifying urgency, leaving little time to gather belongings or process the gravity of the situation. Families are separated, pets are left behind, and treasured possessions are abandoned as the priority shifts to simply getting out alive. Evacuation centers, hastily set up in schools, community centers, and even parking lots, are overflowing with displaced residents, their faces etched with worry and exhaustion. The air is thick with the smell of sweat and fear as families huddle together, clinging to whatever meager possessions they were able to salvage. The uncertainty of their situation weighs heavily on their minds. When will they be able to return home? Will their homes still be standing? These are just some of the agonizing questions that haunt the evacuees as they wait anxiously for news about their fate. The aftermath of the wildfires reveals a scene of utter devastation. Homes, once filled with laughter and memories, are now reduced to smoldering rubble. Businesses, the lifeblood of the community, stand empty and charred, their futures uncertain. The lush green hillsides that define Los Angeles's natural beauty are now blackened scars on the landscape, stripped bare of vegetation and wildlife. The air is thick with the acrid smell of smoke, a constant reminder of the inferno that has swept through the region. The human toll of the disaster is immeasurable, with families left homeless, businesses destroyed, and communities torn apart, but the impact extends far beyond the immediate damage. The loss of vegetation increases the risk of mudslides and erosion, threatening to further destabilize the already fragile ecosystem. The smoke-filled air poses serious health risks, particularly for children, the elderly, and those with respiratory problems. And the psychological trauma of the experience, the fear, the uncertainty, the loss, will linger long after the flames have been extinguished. Section 5. A relentless battle. Firefighters confront extreme conditions. On the front lines of this raging inferno stand the firefighters, brave men and women who put their lives on the line every day to protect their city. Facing down walls of flames, choking smoke, and extreme heat, they work tirelessly, battling not only the fires themselves but also exhaustion, dehydration, and the ever-present threat of shifting winds. These courageous individuals are pushed to their physical and mental limits, working around the clock, fueled by adrenaline and a deep sense of duty. Their task is made all the more challenging by the steep, rugged terrain, which often makes it difficult to access the fire lines. The dry conditions, a result of years of drought, turn vegetation into tinder, readily igniting and fueling the flames. And then, there are the Santa Ana winds, powerful, unpredictable gusts that can whip up a small fire into a raging inferno in a matter of minutes. Section 6. The invisible enemy, dry brush, Santa Ana winds, and the growing threat of climate change. While the immediate causes of the Los Angeles wildfires are still under investigation, experts point to a confluence of factors that have created the perfect storm for these devastating blazes. Years of drought have left the vegetation parched and highly flammable, creating a tinderbox waiting to ignite. The Santa Ana winds, a seasonal weather pattern, exacerbate the situation, fanning the flames and driving them across the landscape with terrifying speed. But there's another, more insidious factor at play: climate change. Rising global temperatures are contributing to more extreme weather events, including prolonged droughts and more intense heat waves. These conditions, coupled with human activities such as development encroaching into wildland areas, are creating a perfect storm for wildfires, making them more frequent, more intense, and more destructive. Section 7. A city united: government action, community support, and international aid. In the face of this unprecedented crisis, the people of Los Angeles have responded with characteristic resilience and compassion. Local, state, and federal agencies have mobilized swiftly, deploying firefighters, equipment, and resources to combat the blazes and provide aid to those affected. Governor Newsom has declared a state of emergency, freeing up additional resources and assistance. The international community has also stepped up to help, with countries like Canada, Mexico, and Australia sending firefighters and equipment to assist in the firefighting efforts. Donations of food, water, clothing, and other essential items have been pouring in from across the country and around the world, a testament to the spirit of solidarity and compassion that unites us in times of crisis. Section 8. Stories of courage. Firefighters on the front lines, volunteers. Lending a hand and neighbors helping neighbors. Amidst the devastation and loss, stories of extraordinary courage and compassion have emerged, reminding us of the resilience of the human spirit. Firefighters working tirelessly in grueling conditions, risking their own lives to save others, stand as symbols of unwavering bravery and selflessness. Volunteers, many of whom have themselves been displaced by the fires, have flocked to evacuation centers and community kitchens, offering comfort, support, and a helping hand to those in need. Neighbors are looking out for neighbors, sharing food, water, and information, providing emotional support, and offering a shoulder to cry on. The spirit of community, so evident in times of crisis, shines through the darkness, reminding us that even in the face of unimaginable adversity, hope and humanity endure. Section 9. The Long Road to Recovery. Rebuilding lives, rebuilding homes, rebuilding communities. As the fires subside and the smoke begins to clear, the long and arduous process of recovery will begin. Families who have lost their homes will face the daunting task of rebuilding their lives piece by piece. Businesses will need to assess the damage, secure loans, and find the strength to reopen their doors. Communities will come together to support each other, offering emotional support, practical assistance, and a shared determination to heal and rebuild. The road to recovery will be long and challenging, but the people of Los Angeles are no strangers to adversity. They have faced down earthquakes, riots, and economic downturns, and emerged stronger and more united each time. This time will be no different. With their trademark resilience, their unwavering community spirit, and the support of the nation and the world, they will rebuild their lives, their homes, and their communities stronger than ever before. Section 10. A Spirit Unbroken. The Resilience of Los Angeles in the Face of Adversity. The recent wildfires have tested the spirit of Los Angeles, pushing the city and its residents to their limits. The images of destruction are heartbreaking, the stories of loss are profound. Yet amidst the ashes, a spirit of resilience burns bright. The human spirit, much like the chaparral that covers the hillsides, has an incredible capacity to regenerate, to adapt, and to thrive even in the face of adversity. Los Angeles will rebuild. It will learn from this disaster, taking steps to mitigate future risks, to adapt to a changing climate, and to build more resilient communities. The scars of these fires will remain, etched into the landscape and the memories of those who experienced them. But they will also serve as a powerful reminder of the indomitable spirit of this city, a spirit that refuses to be broken, a spirit that will continue to shine bright long after the flames have been extinguished.